below. We're going to talk about how to put this diet together. Okay. Number one, let's talk about Mike Gann. Okay. Professional fighter, very active, trains a lot. He could not survive in Quadrant 1. He needs more. Okay. So he eats Quadrant 1 every meal, every day, but he needs more because it's not enough. If you're training really hard and expending a lot of energy, you need some starches. Okay? We prefer Quadrant 2, which is the natural starches or the healthier starches, and that includes the rice, the potatoes, the corn, the quinoa. Okay? So he needs to dip into Quadrant 2. Okay? And he needs, or doesn't need to, but dips into Quadrant 3 at times. Okay? Sometimes.
Today I had a tortilla.
He did have a tortilla, which is, it's corn, but whatever. There's some flour in it. So he dips into Quadrant 3. When he's trying to cut weight, he probably does away with Quadrant 3 and just has Quadrant 1 and 2 take care of all of his needs. All right. He probably doesn't even go into Quadrant 4 until after the fight. We'll talk about Quadrant 4 later, but that's junk food. So he's a professional athlete. Probably most of his meals are Quadrant 1 and Quadrant 2. Okay. I train really hard as well. Okay. I'm not a professional athlete, and I don't train as much as he does. But my weight does tend to stay a little too low sometimes if I don't dip into Quadrant 3 sometimes. Usually, one meal a day, or sometimes, sometimes one meal a day I'll have a serving, or maybe even two servings a day. But most of my meals are Quadrant 1 and 2. Okay? But I'll dip into Quadrant 3 as well. Okay? I'm not trying to train for a fight. I'm not trying to stay as lean as he is. But I do want to stay in shape, so I will focus on Quadrant 1 and bring in Quadrant 2. Okay? If you're overweight to obese, you should stay away from everything but Quadrant 1. Okay? Tons of vegetables, tons of fruits, tons of lean protein, a lot of good healthy fats to moderation. But you don't need Quadrant 2 and 3. You need to lose that weight. And the best way to do that is stay in Quadrant 1. Okay? Once you start losing your weight and maybe you're just a little bit overweight, you're a little pudgy, you're not really obese anymore, you can throw a Quadrant 2 in, a serving here and there. Maybe one a day, one every other day, etc. Okay? And if you feel your energy level way down and you're eating a lot of Quadrant 1, a lot of natural vegetables and stuff, you can throw in a Quadrant 2. All right? That's for, while you're on your way down. Okay? But if you're obese, you need to stay around Quadrant 1 for 90% of your meals. Okay? 90% of the things you eat should be Quadrant 1. Okay? If you're underweight and you're struggling to gain weight, okay, you want to get more muscular or whatever, you want to stay in Quadrant 1 and 2. Okay? You need to, eat Quadrant 2, one serving every meal, and Quadrant 1, obviously, all your meals. And you can even throw in some Quadrant 3, 1 or 2 servings a day, depending on your weight and your strength and how that, how your weight gain goes. Okay? So I hope you guys are understanding that. Okay? Now we're going to go into a new one. Quadrant 4. Quadrant 4 is the junk food. Nobody needs Quadrant 4. Everybody needs Quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 and 3, you usually need a little bit of it just to keep your energy up. But nobody needs Quadrant 4. Okay? It's junk food. But everybody has to keep their motivation up. Everybody needs a cheat day. Not everyone needs a cheat day every week, but some people need it, twice a month or once a month, or for some people, every freaking day. But anyway, they're not going to get in very good shape. But a cheat meal would be, ice cream, soda, um, cake, pies, and stuff like that. Okay, that's quadrant 4, and everybody's gonna have quadrant 4. So if you do eat a junk food meal, don't go crazy over it. Just go back to your regular quadrant 1 based eating. Okay, coffee. Coffee is nowhere in here. Coffee's on you. I mean, if you want to drink coffee, that's fine. If you start having like coffee with thick creams and whipped cream, that's quadrant 4. That's on your cheat days, okay? If you want to drink, I didn't include drinking into this in your diet. That's on you. I don't know if you drink or not, whatever. I'm not including in this diet. That's something you have to deal with, and I'm not going to deal with it in this diet, okay? So drinking's on you. Condiments are not counted. If you have, your meat and you want to have some ketchup on it, we don't count that as anything. That's a freebie. Okay. If you drink the whole ketchup and then a mustard and then you start, eating a lot of mayonnaise right out of the jar, you're a moron, and that's quadrant 4, by the way. So anyway, I hope this makes sense. And this is our new diet. It's going to be the best diet in the world if you stick to it. Okay. If you have any questions, text us, Facebook us, tweet us. Make sure you leave a comment below and look at the diet below. It'll make a lot more sense. But anyway, I hope you understood the 4 quadrants, and I hope you stick with them, and I hope you get into great shape and stay there. This diet will keep you in the best shape of your life. Okay, I'm 93. All right, I look pretty damn good. Okay,
46.
Yeah, you look like 48. That was a joke. That was even funny. Sorry about that. All right, I'll see you guys later.